Let's talk about the increase in gray divorces. I am hearing from divorce attorneys, and I'm also just kind of seeing it, where there are more of these marriages, these long marriages, 30, 40 years, that are breaking up. And it used to be really unheard of. You know, every once in a while you would see one or hear about one. And there was a lot of this talk, almost like sunk cost fallacy, where it's like, well, you know, you've been in it this long, like why bother even doing something different? You know, you've been married to them for 30 years. At this point, why bother? Why reinvent the wheel? But I think people who are going for these divorces, and it's usually women, they're looking at their husband and they're seeing that as he gets older, he gets meaner. And as he gets older, he gets more difficult to deal with.
Ho, ho, ho! Fiction can be fun.
My, can anyone say that anyone was surprised that this gem of a grand elder post-war queen lays the blame of women making their choices to break up a long-term marriage on men? Obviously, it's always the men. No accountability. I mean, other factors like, oh, they think that at that age they can go out there and they're going to date the same way it was in their 20s. Nah, that doesn't count. Oh, I'm just finding reasons why I'm not happy, so I'm going to get divorced this late in life and things are going to be dandy. Nah, that's not possibly it either. Or possibly she met a guy who's convinced her to divorce her husband so they can live happily ever after, which he'll dump her after he spends all her money. Nah, that can't possibly be it. Apparently, it's all because the husband is mean. And the wife's 30 years of nagging and bugging him, nope, has nothing to do with it. It's all his fault. Well, that's when these queens take accountability, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. I mean, I've heard from several of my viewers that late in life, their ex-wives put in for divorce after 25, 30 years of marriage because they felt that they weren't free and they needed to go out there and get freedom. And they've told me that after a year or two, those exact same wives that wanted to be free come running right back asking to be taken back because the grass was not greener on the other side. No, but the roast beef sure was drier.
And they're saying, you know what? I don't know how many years I've left, but I am not dealing with this. Because they also know that if, God forbid, they get sick, they need to be taken care of. He's not doing it. She's going to be taking care of him, waiting on him hand and foot, being his nurse. But when it comes to her needing something, he's going to leave her to rot. Now, when I hear about these gray divorces, I'm like cheering these women on because it's really obvious why they're doing it. And no, it doesn't matter how many years you've put into a person. If they start treating you like shit, if they've always treated you like shit, and you decide that your last 5, 10, 15 years on earth are not going to be spent also being treated like shit, get out. Get out. It is better to expire alone than to expire lonely.
That was some uber feminist BS projection. I'm sorry there, Colleen. I call cap on what you just claimed. No, men are the ones who actually stick it out and take care of their wives, thick and thin. It's shown through the divorce statistic time and time again that women are the ones that run when things get tough. So please, sister, save it. And the reason that you are cheering her on isn't because of the obvious, it's because of the not so obvious. Because you identify with them. You left your husband, who was taking care of you, and life got so awesome on your own that you decided to start a video to try to convince yourself you made the right choice. I'm sorry, maybe I'm absolutely wrong what I just said there. That's what it's coming off as. And the ones who expire alone are men. Women always expire lonely. Get out, get out, get out. Why should women listen to you about this? If they follow your advice, they get divorced their husbands, and then if they regret it, come back, and the husbands don't take them back, what are you going to do for those women? How are you going to help them? You're not! There are no amount of words that you could tell a woman after you've advised them to destroy a long-term relationship that are going to fix things. I mean, when she's devastated, alone, and crying, what are you going to say? Oh, it'll be okay because I think it'll be okay? Because you made the right choice because your feels told you at the time to make the right choice? I mean, she'll come to terms with it eventually, but still, the mistake is made. But maybe, just maybe, we could attach the old saying of misery loves company. Before we move on, I want to bring attention that 70% of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel. Come on, fam. You've seen my logo on other channels, and you're already here. Please hit that subscribe button and support the channel. It really helps out. Moving on.
Good morning, ladies. I've kind of been realizing things that have been coming to me, and it's taken a long time for all of this to go on. But what I realized the other day was that when you stop giving in to the narcissist, and I hate using that word, but say you've been in a relationship, a trauma bond, codependent, for many, many years, and basically you're just living someone else's life, right? You're just the appendage to their life. Like you were chosen for them, they expect you to behave a certain way, and when you stop doing that, they don't like it. Well, when you really know you're getting away is when that person becomes extremely nasty, and when they are losing control and they will lash out badly. And you can look at it like it's a terrible thing. How could they do that to me? Because you don't matter. It's all about what's inside them.
I don't believe I heard you correctly.
Gee, my granddaughter post-war Colleen, tell us more about living with a narcissist and this whole spiel you're going on right now. And I just can't help but notice that this is in direct contradiction to the video that you made about you regretting divorcing your husband, regretting going your own way, regret being single, and saying that you miss your marriage beyond belief, breaking down in total tears. So again, tell us about who's the narcissist again? Who's the one who believes that things have to go their way? How can you actually make a video giving this kind of advice when you admitted that you wanted to crawl back to your ex-husband? That's just a basic question. How bad was he if you wanted to crawl back to him? How bad was he if you were teary-eyed saying that you missed him? It doesn't seem like he was the narcissist in that relationship. It seems like he was actually the guy doing what he had to do, and you decided, hey, you know what? I don't want to be married anymore because my fifis are telling me I don't want to be married now. I want to be divorced. And you got what you wanted. You broke up your marriage. And if you add all of that up, obviously it equals to a queen who is more than qualified to give other married women the greatest of advice. Again, I can only say misery loves company in certain cases.
They'll never see your side. They'll never see the truth, or the truth as they see it is different than what you see, because it's all about them, their life, what they wanted for their life. You really don't matter. And so when you finally actually break free, they're going to get really ugly because they never really cared in the first place. As long as you were good and did what they wanted, it seemed like they loved you or cared for you. But when you don't do what they want, the truth comes out. And this can be very, very difficult to deal with, but it also can be very freeing for you if you look at it like, oh, it's like an aha moment. And, it doesn't matter if you waited 35 years or 25 years or 10. As long as you finally see it, you have a chance. You have a chance at a better life with someone that won't do that to you, but you have to watch for it. That's it for today.
Because it's all about them. It's because it's all about what they wanted their life. This coming from the queens who put in for divorce 70% plus of the time and are always saying that they have to go out and find themselves, that they feel lost. I mean, the contradictions just keep on coming. And when you decide to break free, in other words, when you drop the divorce papers on him after him taking care of you more than half his life, what do you expect him to be? Super calm? Like, oh yeah, I'm super chill with you destroying our family and taking half the assets and then taking alimony for X amount of years, making it super hard for me to rebuild, and you're gonna spend all the money that you get out of it. Yeah, of course I'm supposed to have a smile on my face and say thank you. Now I could say that was a very narcissistic statement there, sister. I mean, ladies, if you take her advice and look at how she ended up, look at all the videos of her breaking down. And if you think that that leads to happiness, well, then you go out there and destroy your marriage and try to find love that late in life. And I'm pretty sure the majority of the guys that are going to date you aren't going to try to use you for a pump and dump. Of course not. Dating is going to be awesome. You're going to find your soulmate. Obviously, the guy you were married to for 30 years wasn't it. But the modern dating market, oh, it's just full of Prince Charmings, waiting to sweep you off your feet, pay your medical bills, and deal with your baggage. Moving on.
I just came to the realization that, like, if you're 40 years old, you're never gonna find love. Like, oh my God. Sorry, I woke up like really, really emotional because I was married for, oh my God, I need to stop. I was married for over 20 years, and like, I was so used to being a wife. Like, I loved being married, you know? Like, I love being a wife. I love having like that one person I love coming home to and like venting all my shit to. And now it's like, yeah, you date people and like sparks fly, and then it's just like, oh, I found better, you know? I think some of you guys missed my story time because, I don't know, I posted the dumbest video of me at Home Depot. It didn't go viral. But, like, I was talking to my ex again, and there was a TikTok.
Well, another queen that found out that divorce isn't as awesome as she thought it would be. I guess we could say another one bites dust. She said that she loved being married, loved being a wife, and loved having someone that she could unload everything on. I have a question about that. The way it was phrased, it sounds like she just wanted a soundboard, someone that she could just talk to all day, but I don't think she wanted to be the one listening. And usually when you have these kind of situations, this is the female relationship dynamic where she just wants her husband to listen to her complaints about all the problems, probably a problem at work, probably the problems in her personal life, but doesn't want the husband to give any feedback. In other words, doesn't want the husband to come back and say, okay, that's your problem? Well, here's your solution. No, they just want someone to listen. Now, women believe that this is communication. No, that's not communication. That's narcissism. That's, you have to listen to me complain. You can't say anything back. And our relationship is supposed to be like this if you want it to last. And she said herself that she felt butterflies if she found someone new. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Chad/Tyrone's Thunder Meat gave her butterflies amongst other things. Now, I'm going to say that I'm 99.9% sure that she put in for the divorce. Why do I say that? Because in videos like these, when the man puts in for the divorce and the woman didn't want to get divorced, they start off like that. They take advantage of the situation to point the blame somewhere else so they don't take accountability. She didn't mention that. By default, I believe she put in for the divorce. But let's hear what else she has to say.
There was I had a fan on here, a TikTok follower, that messaged me, and she said, hey, I started talking to this guy, and I noticed on his Instagram, like those highlight reels, you were in one of his highlight reels, like you guys made a TikTok together. And I was like, oh yeah, that's my boyfriend, because we were like trying to work things out. It was long distance, whatever. And she's like, oh, well, we're talking. He said he was single. And I'm like, I'm not even crying about that. I think I'm just more sad about the fact that, like, it's impossible. It's impossible to find someone that you will 100% trust. And part of it has to do with me too, because of my insecurities. But honestly, 99% of the time it's because they're cheating, you know, because it's so accessible. Social media, talking to other women. Why do I still have my seatbelt on? Anyway, I need to do a story time. I just had a vent. I have people who cry on here. But I hope you guys are having a good day.
Oh, wait a minute. You're trying to convince us that you're not crying, that your ex, and I'm assuming it's ex-husband, who is your current boyfriend, says that he's single to other women and he's trying to get some pieces on the side? Yeah, sure you're not crying about that. It's not like you had him locked in when you were married to him. I'm assuming you were married to him, and now you realize, yeah, that lock is long gone. And the guy that you decided to let go, you could pick up other women for him. Nah, I'm pretty sure that's not bringing a tear to your eye. Not possible. And it's impossible to find someone that you're going to trust because part of it is because of your insecurities? I'd say the vast majority of it. I mean, Colleen, I know you're sad and all, but why don't you look at this from a man's perspective, okay? Think of it this way. You have proven that you are capable of destroying a 20-year relationship. And now when your value is less, your SMB is far lower than it was when you were first married, you're expecting 100% loyalty to a woman who cannot follow her vows, who cannot commit to a guy who took care of her for the rest of her life, and you're crying about it now? Seriously? What next? Are you going to cry when you find out that the IRS let you down? Come on, sister. Wake up and smell the pieces of the wall that you smashed through, okay? You did this to yourself. You got no one else to blame but you. But don't worry, Colleen. Pretty soon you're gonna meet another Chad/Tyrone that's gonna give you butterflies all over again. Until he finds better. But you'll always have TikTok.
Damn, skip me.
I'm just saying, if you enjoy this audit, click on the video in the end screen for more content. If you would like to support the channel, please follow the link in the description to donate to our beer fund. Or like, subscribe, and share this video on other social media platforms. If you agree or disagree with anything about this audit, please let us know in the comments. I'm going to leave this audit right here. I'll see all of you in the next episode.